thought I could get a good lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could get input from people, so I thought
Mm-hmm.
extra input
Mm-hmm.
would make it a better lesson.
Okay.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I would have things that I wasn't sure of. I could get somebody's views on that.
For me, I think it's really lovely because it's discussing with each other, and also you being there as well, saying, okay, maybe we can do this and we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And also then when we in the class, seeing the students and how they are interacting. And it was really lovely to see some of them like coming up and asking questions. And then I could see as well from the difference from last year to now, how Linton has changed those lessons.
It was a great idea and initiative because I got to see somebody else delivering the same sort of unit, the same topic, and you always get a new idea by seeing someone.
It's nice to have a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh head looking at materials that you have, and you've got something and you may have done it in a particular way for 2 or 3 different classes or groups of students. And somebody comes in and says, oh, you know, have you noticed maybe you could use the text in this way, or what about, you know, doing it like this?
What about the collaborative side of it? I mean, is that, because we're usually quite individual as what we're preparing, was that a challenge to you, or did you find it quite rewarding, sort of chatting with me and Simon?
No, it's definitely useful and rewarding, and you're right, you know, normally we go away, we're quite insular, we plan what we're going to plan, but there's always room for discussions, and it's, you know, you can never really have an exercise like that isn't constructive in some way.
It has caused me to reflect on my practice. I do think it's been quite beneficial because in gathering feedback from David and yourself, it's made me more aware of the learner's voice, and, you know, has helped me to adapt even this quickly to producing more of what they want in order to get them to work more efficiently for me.
Yeah, I'd quite like having you guys in the class. It's good to get your feedback on what you found interesting and what the students found interesting.
I learned a lot of skills.
Okay.
I learned stuff about presenting and a lot of especially when I watched your lesson, I probably wouldn't have done so much visual material.
I think it gave us more foresight into lessons, planning, ideas into, you know, how to deliver the lessons, different teaching techniques, and most of which were, you know, all of which were very well received by the students. So, you know, I'm still using those now, and, you know, sort of maybe a little tweak here and there, but the students are finding them quite useful.
The other thing that was good was we sat down with you and we had to put in our diaries, our calendars, when we were going to meet to plan and when we were going to, when the lesson was going to be watched, and that was good.
Why? What makes that good?
Because then you'd blocked out that time on your calendar for the preparation out of the class.
Yes.
And
so it's almost like designated
Yes.
safe time for planning, thinking about.
you almost felt you had permission to only think about the class.
We just think, okay, I'll think about it. And then the day comes and then you're just not ready. So you just, okay, let me just go and do it.
Yes.
So I think this one really makes you, because you have to do something, you're doing something different. So then you actually done it, and then you want to implement that in other lessons as well. So it has actually helped, isn't it?
But I think it does make you think a bit more about the students, because you decide beforehand which students you're going to focus on. So you think, oh, well, that student, you know, and we chose the students carefully for particular reasons. And it does make you think more about how you're going to aim particular parts of the lesson at particular students.
I think the different approaches to teaching that we've done, rather than, you know, same old kind of thing, we're giving them ownership of, you know, the teaching and learning process, and including them in the lessons as to, you know, the delivery of the lessons. Sometimes they were teaching each other as much as I was sort of leading that. They were sort of peer teaching.
And it was very positive as well to observe other teachers, or observe the other students in a different classroom as well, in a group you don't know so well. They are not your own students, because you can see how they behave and how different teachers and also just in a one-to-one you can see all the process they are going through. That because we haven't been in school for such a long time, we forget all the emotions and the stresses that we have to go through.
I think the fact that we incorporated them in the process gave them, they felt that they were part of it and they were giving an input into it, and I think that was what enabled them to have a voice to evaluate.
Yes, I think they were happy that they were able to contribute to their learning, and also they can tell us what is good and what is not good.
I think they really felt as though their opinions were being considered and taken seriously, and that their opinions mattered.
I think the activities it's really helped them to sort of not just listening to us, watching the PowerPoint and being presenting it, but I think they enjoyed the part where they can actually do it.
I think you were also able to point him towards some activities and exercises.
Yes.
I think that's what the students liked as well.
Yeah.
They like not just the attention they were getting, but the suggestions, the extra suggestions.
They quite liked, the fact that, they could be able to work with other people that they don't usually work with.
Also, what I liked about the lesson studies, we actually interviewed the 3 students afterwards to see what they felt. Do you feel that was a stronger piece of feedback on a lesson than perhaps you usually get?
Yeah, definitely. There isn't usually that time set aside for gathering feedback in that way. Feedback tends to be fleeting after classes like that. Even if you go and seek it out, it's still a lot quicker. So no, it's nice to get some more structured and detailed feedback.
The feedback, because then it makes you think about how you come across, and as it is all about the students, it makes you more aware of how they feel about how you teach.
The feedback they gave, that's amazing, because I don't think when we ask them to write or when we ask for the feedback normally at the end of the module, we don't get as much as what we got during the lesson study.
When you teach, the students' feedback will be probably diluted, but if they have a one-to-one with you guys, then you can feedback to me and it makes me much more conscious.
Is there anything threatening about lesson study?
Not for me, no, I didn't feel. I worked with a very nice group and people I get on well. Maybe if it was, I get on really well with my colleagues here, but I can think of places where I've worked that teachers had a very specific way of teaching.
Okay.
And if you didn't fall into that model, they wouldn't accept. So I would find that a bit tricky, a bit difficult, because I was very different from that. So I suppose, it depends who are part of the group. I felt very comfortable. I really enjoyed the experience.
I think it's a good idea just to kind of get some other people's feedback, and rather than just having observations where you've got the stress and it's just sort of like an end result, whereas it's not
enough
like,
pressure.
not enough pressure, that's right. And it's more designed to be helpful more than anything, and I think that's a good thing.
It was a good way of being watched without being inspected.
Yes, without being judged.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because often when we are being watched by other teachers or anyone else, it's because it's part of an inspection. So in the inspection you don't get the feedback, you don't hear how, it wasn't so good, how could I have made it better?
Yeah.
But this one, I thought. And so there wasn't that air of threat or feeling,
It's very supportive.
Yes.
I think you mentioned something about it's nice and like non-judgmental, don't feel threatened or something.
Non-threatening, they're your peers, and it's it's not there to judge you or see how good your teaching is necessarily.
Was it a positive?
Yes, I believe
Have you enjoyed
it was.
being part of it?
I would like it to be longer for the future, so that we can not only have 3 students, but more.
Okay.
Because there are more with
their own difficulties and their
Mhm.
own issues. So if we do it longer and not just with 3 students, maybe with 6 students, we could benefit.
It was a good reflective exercise, getting feedback from peers, and I think it was probably quite useful for people who were trainees as well, to be stepping into the classroom and seeing what really happens on a day-to-day basis.
People that are sort of early on into teaching, I think it'll be good for them to,
Yeah.
have that at an early stage, so that they get all the different ideas and techniques into the teaching and learning process, which they can then employ.
Even to experienced practitioners, you feel lesson studies got some value?
Yeah, I think one of the first things you learn is that you never stop learning
Absolutely.
when you're a teacher. So you can't sit there and say, "Oh, well, I'm experienced. This is no good to me." We can all get stale. We can all be complacent. So having new ideas chucked at you and hearing other people's perspectives on what you're doing, it's always valuable.
For me, I think everybody will benefit from it.
Yeah.
Regardless of their level
Whether
of
they-
experience.
yeah.
You've
Exactly.
mentioned
True.
new
I do-
teachers,
yeah.
but even
But
for
even
very
those-
Even
yeah.
those who have been doing it for a long
Yeah.
time, you become so set in your ways,
Yeah.
and you are also nervous about coming out of it.
Yeah.
So it's very much interesting to do that, because
Yeah.
I have had people who have said, "No, this is how I do it," or "I don't know how that I can do." No,
Yeah.
just need to do, because for me, I have to change it, because otherwise it's boring for me. So
I was going to say, even then, with this process, you have innovative ways of teaching and learning.
I felt, I had 2 supportive colleagues, and we were, you didn't say you should do this or you should do that. We collaborated in a true sense of it, and I got a lesson out of it, and I thought it was a better lesson than I could have produced on my own.
I would say just go for it, because you will see the difference. It will make you feel better too, because you are not just standing there and talking at them and not just question and answer all the time, but you are actually doing something, and then you can see them doing differently. And the way when they said it, you don't realize how much they're saying, and asking from the students the feedback was so good, because they were actually telling us, isn't it? Oh no, it's good that you always check, and then you are giving us something, and then you go around and then you say no, what would you think, and you're pushing. So they do want that. So you do learn a lot, and then it's easier because you were somebody not part of the team. When you come in and ask a question, they are happy to give you that feedback.
If it's an ongoing thing, for example, somebody comes and see my lesson and I go to somebody else, but if this is an ongoing thing, then you gain a lot of ideas, and you try something, it doesn't work, then you try something else. I think it's very beneficial overall.
I think it was good for the students. If I think I give them a better learning experience. So, that's very cliche. I think that is worthwhile, and I could not have done it on my own.
So you'd recommend it to colleagues?
Absolutely.
So I've
yes.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've got to know
Yes,
you two
and
guys.
you feel
better.
no pressure, because
Yeah.
even if we are discussing about what to do in the lesson,
Yeah.
we can discuss it before we do the lesson.
Well, that's what we did. Yes.
So-
We just
Yeah.
discussed
Before and
and
after.
When I was doing teacher training, the opportunity to step into a classroom and observe someone in a sort of fairly informal way, where you can discuss and get guidance, I think that would have been really useful. And I think it's a good exercise.
This is my job. I want to do it better, and
Yeah.
let's enable them to do it better. So